I remember walking off the van we had, and this girl goes, "Hey," and I'm like, "Hey," and she kind of startled me, and she's like, "Hold out your hand and close your eyes." I'm like, "Okay, what?" She like was gonna give me a gift. I was like, "Okay, sure," and I looked down, and she had her bloody, crusty molar that she stuck in my hand.
What's up, Rock.com? It's Martini Beerman, and I'm here with Kristopher Roe of the Ataris. When we look at past Ataris and now coming into the future and the present Ataris, what can your fans look forward to experiencing from you? Like, is it similar? Is it different? Where do we change?
I gotcha. Well, I just can, just like anyone, I guess, you just evolve as a writer and as a person. With writing songs in the last 6 or 7 years, I feel I know when something's not good and when something moves you, or moves me. And so with these new songs, I've really learned to like craft it, and I keep writing better songs. And the old songs that I wrote a year ago, I feel I'm just totally crushing them. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna put out something I'm not proud of. And at the end of the day, I really appreciate our fans and what they want, but I write for me, and I think they should respect that, and I'm sure they do. If I wrote a record for someone else, I think I would be doing myself a huge disservice, and any writer would be doing the same thing.
Last night, I had a dream that we went to Disneyland.
You guys go on tour everywhere. I saw that in 2009 you were in South Africa, which is actually where I'm from. That was really freaking cool. Where is like the most awesome place that you would say you've performed?
Like Latin America and Asia. We played in Indonesia a couple years ago. It was 12,000 people, and we were the headliner. And that's insane to think that they're just discovering punk rock for the first time. So it's like it was for us when we were kids. When I first remember buying a Ramones album and being like, what the hell? This moved me in this way that it will never move me again. Like when you first hear something. And for them, it's still new and it's thriving, and you got to like get there while it's hot. And we're going back and doing a huge Asia tour in like probably right after Christmas.
You guys are on tour right now. I heard that you're supposed to be on tour with Red City Radio, but you're not necessarily with them right now in LA. Is that true?
The rest of the tour, we pick up Flatfoot 56 and Red City Radio after we go through New Mexico. It's all blending together. When you first get on tour, it's like you don't really feel like you get in the groove of things. So like once the tour's ending, so like halfway through the tour, I think we're going to be back at our full ability. These first few shows are like just jumping on a moving train and going with it and see where it takes us.
That can be kind of awesome and exhilarating all at the same time.
I don't enjoy that part of it. I'm really OCD, and I like to really prepare and try to make sure that we give the people like what I feel is my 100%. I like to have that sort of anarchic feeling that it can fall apart any second, but I also like it to be together enough to where we give them the best. And I think tonight's going to be the first show where if I'm predicting right based off the last few shows, it's improving every night.
Do you have a crazy on-stage story of something that may have happened while you were touring, or?
Yeah, one too many. I don't know which one I should tell.
I had a band tell me one time that somebody threw that they've had a fish and a sausage thrown at them. I'm like, I really don't know if this is like something that people think is okay, but I'm like, it's really not.
I haven't had any weird things thrown at me, thank the Lord. But I did have. There was this show for another weird story. We played a show in it was Birmingham, England, and I was just showing up to the venue, and I was going into sound check, and back when we actually bothered to sound check, now we just don't give a fuck. And I remember walking off the van we had, and this girl goes, "Hey," and I'm like, "Hey," and she kind of startled me, and she's like, "Hold out your hand and close your eyes." I'm like, "Okay, what?" She like was gonna give me a gift. I was like, "Okay, sure," and I looked down, and she had her bloody, crusty molar that she stuck in my hand, and I was like, and I just like startled, and I dropped, and I was like, what would possess you to hand me? And she's like, "I got it pulled earlier today." I'm like, "Sure, but like, why would you think that somebody would want it? Like, maybe you would save your own. Like, that was my baby's tooth or something." But I was like,
wear it on a necklace.
And so I'm like, "Thank you." And I didn't know if I should like pick it up and not be rude. Like, you go to somebody's house, you like have to eat the food even though it's terrible. But yeah, I didn't know what to do, so I just kind of like, cool, I gotta go sound check. Thank you. Hey, I'm Kristopher Roe of the Ataris, and you're watching Rock.com.